Hey everyone, this is Ashley with Brew House Blunts and Everything in Between. If you have not already, go back and listen to my last episode. I talk about the sense of entitlement that we have in friendships, high school stuff that you may have dealt with your friendships, and then also being a better friend to yourself and those that are around you. Now, today, I want to talk about, I guess this will kind of be like a mix of things. It's just, in general, boys forgiving their mothers but not holding them accountable. How that presents itself in relationships, and then also kind of diving into how that correlates to why moms tend to love their sons more. So, like, as a woman, we all talk about how we don't want to deal with anybody that's a mama's boy. Like, it's an automatic red flag. But for me, the biggest thing that I learned, like looking back in my relationships, all of my past relationships, none of them had their mother in their life. It was either due to various reasons such as drugs or their mother passing away. But there was one specifically a friend of mine's. There was an ex that she had dealt with. She was in an abusive relationship, and just the things that her and I would talk about, because we were both in abusive relationships, the things that she would tell me and talk to me about it was in a way kind of like the guy felt like he could not have a say so in the things that his mother did. So instead of being able to express these things in a healthy manner, they got bottled up and they forgave their mother. They forgave their mother, but they did not forgive their mother's actions. They did not forgive the fact of even after forgiving their mother, the fact that their mother never apologized for their actions. Their mothers never took that time out to correct their actions and actively be a better parent. I was automatically, my son is forgiving of all my faults, and they love them for that. But the sons never had a voice. They never had a place where they could really correct their mothers on their behavior. And that's exactly why, for me, because of the fact that I have been in an abusive relationship and I have the friend that was in an abusive relationship, it's why I'm working to do what it is that I do, why I'm working on correcting my behavior, why I'm working on breaking these cycles, and why I give my son the opportunity to tell me when I'm doing something wrong. Because me being dismissive of how he feels is only going to make him bottle it up and still love me and still forgive me. It does not give me the space to change and make corrections to my actions, because I feel that I can do no wrong. And I put my son in a space where he also has this mindset that his mother can do no wrong, because he never felt like he had the floor to speak on my actions and how it is that they directly affected him. So it's like, now you got these boys that done dealt with all this drama, they done dealt with all this bullshit with their mothers, and they never had a chance to express that. They never had a chance to to release those emotions or verbalize how they felt in a healthy manner. So now you get in a relationship with a guy and he's over here looking at you, subconsciously looking at you like his mother. He wants to show you how much of a good guy he is. He wants to show you how amazing he is. He wants to take you on all these dates to woo you and wow you and make you feel like, oh my God, this guy is amazing. When in all actuality, it's a little boy stuck in a grown ass man's body who's trying to prove to his mother that he's a good boy. I'm a good boy, mommy. I'm a good boy. I'm going to do everything right. I'm going to make you happy. I'm going to make you proud. And then there comes that switch, when they realize, damn, this is literally what they're saying in their head. This bitch ain't my mama. And they realize she did something, and whole time you did something and you don't even know what the fuck it is you did. You didn't even realize that it triggered this man. And it's like a flip, like a switch flips completely and entirely. Next thing you know, he's dipping and dodging you. He's not answering your calls. He's not answering your text messages. He's talking to you out the side of his neck. He's not respecting you. He's not showing you that person that it was that you met. Now, for some of you, if you are familiar with narcissist, this may sound exactly like that. And that also brings me to how, and a lot of men, they are not born with what is it? NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. This narcissist is created. And now you are the one that has to deal with this. You're the one that has to deal with the backlash. You're the one that has to deal with the belittlement, because these men never had that space to correct their mothers, because their mothers felt that they could do no wrong. Now you dealing with all these emotionally unavailable men, because these emotions weren't able to be expressed in their home. And 9 times out of 10, daddy wasn't around. So the little boy had to play dad. And then that's when it kind of gets twisted, when you see these mothers and these sons having this really close relationship, but it's almost so close that it's disgusting. The fact that you will see this man treat you like shit, but put his mother on a pedestal. And he's like, oh, don't talk about my mama like that. Oh, no, my mama would never do something like that. Whole time your mama definitely would. She could. She did, and she does. So you just sitting there and you like, nigga, what are you doing? Like, literally, what are you doing? And it's like, the sucky part about this is, because he's so deep in a sunken place, even if you tell him about himself, he's not going to get it automatically. It may take 4 or 6 more relationships for this man to realize it's a fucking pattern. Like, damn, maybe there is something wrong. Damn, maybe there is something I need to change. But the biggest thing that we as women always say is, these men need therapy. These men need therapy. As women, this is the thing. This is the difference between men and women. As women, we have magazines, we have talk shows, we have our friends, we have our girl cousins, we have many different avenues to express. We have many different avenues to express these emotions. Men do not have that. Their mothers are dismissive of their emotions. Their fathers are telling them that they can't show emotions because it makes them a man. They get with their boys. Their other homeboys are just as emotionally unavailable as they are. So all they have is sports. All they have is video games. Things that do not allow them any expression. They're somewhat shitty coping mechanisms at best. And now this isn't to say men that play sports or play video games, like, that's not a healthy outlet, because those are still healthy outlets when they are used correctly. They're healthy outlets when they're used correctly. But there are some men that are not verbalizing how it is they feel. Hell, I don't think I have ever in life met a man that has said, I don't think I've ever met a man in life that has said, I journal. I write about how my day went. I write about some shit that it is that happened. They just bottle all that up and go home and sit and numb themselves and play the video game for hours. Or they have sports. So all that anger and emotion and aggression, they can take it out in contact sports. And I truly feel that's why men, like, out of all the sports, what are the main sports as a woman that you hear a man talking about? Football season and basketball season. You don't hear none of these men talking about baseball. You don't hear none of these men talking about hockey. You don't hear none of these men talking about soccer, any of those other sports. Main two, basketball and football. Basketball isn't too much of a contact sport. Football, though, football is. And it's just kind of like, okay, we know that all these men need therapy, but it's like two at the same time. And I had to catch myself the other day. I was going to make a status about this, and I low-key felt like a hypocrite. Well, you know, anybody that's familiar with Rod Wave's music, we talk about how that nigga's music sounds sad as fuck. Like, it always sounds sad. It always sounds depressing. And I can say I was one of those people that I was like, he reminds me, I made a joke about it. He reminds me of a sad, like a rapper Ruben Studdard. That's what he reminds me of. And then I realized I had to quickly retract my viewpoint on that, because somebody was like, he always making depressing music. And I'm like, and what the fuck have these women been doing all this time? What do y'all think Mary J. Blige was doing for so damn long? What do y'all think Fantasia was doing so damn long? But y'all think because it got a nice little melody to it, because it got some background singers that can hit the same damn note that Mariah Carey do, that makes a man rapping about depressive shit any less valid. And I'm like, the difference is with men and women is some women eventually they glow up. They turn that pain into passion, and they utilize that to heal. Some men may use music just to simply say how they feel and get that shit off of their chest. Music is their safe space. It's their outlet. And that quickly made me retract what I said about him. And I'm just like, this man's been rapping about depressive music so long, but I'm like, we don't know his inner circle. And this isn't me condoning the type of music he puts out, because I'm very much so pro music being a frequency, so to speak. So it's kind of like, okay, he's putting out depressing music, but why? Like, do y'all not know how long Mary J. Blige music was sad as fuck? Like, she put some good songs out. Like, I think in the like mid to late 2000s, her music started to lighten up. It still had that residual trauma type of feel to it. And then it got to a point like Mary's living her best life. You see her glowing, body healthy. Her music has completely transformed. And I mean, we don't know if she did therapy behind the scenes. We don't know what she did. But it's like, people got to realize, men, just like how women are only looked at as objects, men are only looked at as ATMs. Imagine imagine you being a man, if a woman looked at you and all she saw was how much money that it is that you could give her. She didn't care about how your day went. She didn't give a fuck about your childhood. She didn't care about your hopes and dreams. She didn't care about, like, damn, has he eaten today? Like, is he going through something? Is he just so fucking depressed that this man can't even eat? All some women care about is, how much money can you give me? And in some women's cases, rightfully so, because niggas will want pussy for free. And it's like, okay, not to make myself out to be a prostitute, but my nigga, you gonna have to take me on a date. You gonna have to take me on a shopping spree if you think that I'm finna give you pussy for free and then you finna ghost me in 2 weeks and I'm never finna fucking talk to you again. I'ma at least get something out this shit, because dick ain't enough. It's simply not enough. And I think that's where a lot of women are right now. We're realizing, like, okay, in what ways have I settled? In what ways have I been okay with accepting the bare minimum? But now it has to come to that point with men. y'all have to ask yourselves, in what ways did I allow my mother to walk over me? In what ways did I feel like I not have a voice? Like, speak on how you felt about your father leaving the home. Speak about how you never actually had a childhood, how you were forced to grow up. Speak on how, instead of your mother being nurturing and allowing you to express yourself when your father wasn't home, she turned into what was an even worse version of your father. Not only was she not nurturing, she was cold and didn't allow you to express yourself, because any extra emotions beyond what she had to already deal with and emotions of her own was too much. So you being in silence was golden for her. You were the perfect child. You were the best son that she could ask for, or you could have been the worst. Why is he acting like this? Why is he doing this? Why are you cutting class? Why are you smoking weed? Why are you hanging with the wrong crowd? Because as a mother, and this is not to take a jab at any moms, because hell, I'm a single mom myself of a little black boy, but you got to think, in what ways were you not his safe space when he needed you because his father was not around? In what ways did you make him feel smaller than what he already felt? In what ways were you not holding yourself accountable to the point to give your child the space to feel like he could correct you? In what ways did you convince your child that speaking up for himself was disrespectful, all because you didn't want to be held accountable? You know, you really got to ask yourself that question. And that's why too, I say, yes, sometimes as mothers, we do our best, but that does not mean that our best is not going to directly affect our child. And this is coming from, like I said, this is coming from a single mother herself that has realized, if I don't get my fucking act together, that my son could end up just like the men that I dated, which means that's another generation of women that have to heal from trauma. That's another generation of women that have to heal from a narcissist. That's another generation of women that have to go and break more generational curses because of things that I did not want to correct in myself, because I did not want to give my son the space to fully be himself and correct me as he saw fit. And now, granted, I'm not a perfect parent. I have made mistakes. There have been times that I have not given my son the space to feel how he felt. But I knew that I had to correct that. I knew that I needed to seek out a support system so that I could be a better mom. Because even as a single mom, and I say this wholeheartedly, it's not fucking healthy to be up under your children 24/7. It is not healthy to make your children responsible for your emotions. It's not fucking healthy to use your children as punching bags. This is why we have so many men that have become narcissists, so many men that have become abusive, so many men that have become the quote unquote good guy, because they feel maybe if I woo her, maybe if I make her fall head over heels for me, she'll do everything that I ask her to. Just to turn around and realize that that man was never the good guy. He was a wolf in sheep's clothing. So I want y'all to sit with that. I want y'all to sit with that and really think about that. Hell, journal that shit. If you need to, make a fucking rap about it. Do paint, do some art, express it in whatever way that you need to. But I really want y'all to work on being honest with yourself. And when you are ready to start being honest with yourself and you have the means to, please look into therapy. Because the amount of women myself that I have encountered that have dealt with narcissists, or men that have narcissistic tendencies, or just the amount of men that I have dated that are narcissists and have narcissistic tendencies is absolutely insane. So I'm saying this with love, and I'm saying this as a single mother raising a black boy. I want y'all to feel heard. I want y'all to heal. But Y'all have to be willing to be honest with yourselves about the shit that it is that you dealt with in your childhood, so that you can get to a better space than where you are now, so that you can be the man that you want to be. Not be a better man than your father, not be a better man than your uncle, not be a better man than your boys. Be the man that you have always wanted to be. Be the man that you have wanted to look up to. Be the man that your daughter can look up to. Be the man that your next girlfriend, your next fiance, your next wife can say, I prayed for you. So with that being said, thank y'all so much for listening. I look forward to hearing from you all and speaking with you. And I really hope that y'all can take something from this. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. All right. Bye.